So I found a lure that I want to replicate. Replicate might be a stretch. It's going to look the same, kind of. Most of you are probably going to think that I'm stupid. I don't know what this lure actually does. I'm not going to look up or research anything about it, but I'm going to try to make it. I don't know what the action is supposed to be with one of these type of lures. If I had to guess, it seems to be a top water that could also dive because of the shape of the front of it. It looks like a walking bait, or like mixed with a crankbait diver thing. But what'll be interesting is I'm gonna try to make it function. You know, whatever it seems like it needs, I'm just gonna experiment my way through it and see what the action turns out to be. I think that'll be an interesting experiment. I'm sure there's plenty of people that actually know what this lure does. I'm not one of them, but that's okay. You know, you don't have to know everything. You don't have to pretend to know everything either. I'd really like to try to get that pink off so it won't look like the lure has a butthole. This is where we're at so far. Now, I think the inside needs to be concaved a bit, so we're gonna do that. I don't know if that's carved out deep enough or if the angle is right or what. I feel like that's good to move forward. That looks like a little too much hookage. Alright, so we're getting into the trial and error stage of this build. At this point, I don't want to put any lead in it yet. I need to pull the hardware back off, seal the wood, and just see what it does in the water. And then at that point, we can start adding lead, moving it around, and, you know, just see what happens. Alright, it's a new day. Got the wood all sealed up with some polyacrylic. Let's see what it does with no weight. Interesting. Okay, blows out if you go too quick. It sits a bit tail heavy in the water. Very unstable. First thing I'm going to do before adding any weight, I'm going to adjust the line tie and see what effect that has. Okay, that seems to have made it worse. Definitely made it worse. Let's bend it back the other way. Might actually have to move the line tie up higher. Okay. That's better. Okay. Let's go add some weight to it. Okay, so now it sinks, and the action is terrible. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the lead and play with the line tie position. test this again. Back to floating. That doesn't seem promising. Wait. Okay, it's still quite unstable. But it is doing a little bit better. I'm going to take off that middle hook and see what that does to the action. Seems to be a little bit more erratic. I'm starting to feel like there's probably a sweet spot that you're going to have to get the line tie. One thing I'm going to do before adjusting the line tie is I'm going to take off this split ring and see what that does to the action. No good. Let me adjust it down a little bit. That's better. Alright, let's adjust it down some. We're getting close. Still want to try a few things first though. There's always a ton of variables. So just to play around with it, I'll remove this front hook, see what it does. Remove the back hook, see what that does. And if there's nothing significant about that, then I'll move on to adjusting a ballast weight. Alright, so to be honest at this point, I'm at a little bit of a standstill. I've tried ballast weights in different locations, different amounts, tried different line tie and hook variations. This is a very crucial part of the lure making experience. This is the part where we have a sit and a think, and then we come back to it. I'll be honest, this one's kind of getting the better of me. After looking at it, I feel like the end is sloping out too far and it's just scooping too much water. This shape, it's like it's so aerodynamic that the water can flow over it very easily. I think that's what's causing the action to be so erratic, because it's so smooth. It can move anywhere. At least that's the theory. But I think that I'm catching too much water with this lip. So we're going to take it down a bit. And actually looking at the picture that I'm going off of, it was a little bit more stubby on the front anyway. This is the last time today that I'm going out to the pool. I think that's worse than it was before, yet again. Hang on. Still unstable, but that's better. Definitely still blows out. We're getting somewhere with it though. It's actually not too bad. I don't know what that would be called. Like, I still don't know what kind of bait this would be. It's got a wide swimming action that kind of reminds me of like something saltwater, like maybe something you would troll. But I think we might be able to make this into a decent swimming style bait. I don't know if I would go as far as to say swim bait. We might be able to do something with this. I don't know if digging out the scoop, I don't know if that's going to make it better or worse, but let's see. It's still not wanting to track very straight, but it's doing a lot better than it was. Right now I'm trying to decide if I'm going to call it here or if I'm going to keep going. I'm honestly getting tired of messing with it. You know what? Honestly, I think I'm going to call that good. I mean, it doesn't track perfectly, and it will definitely blow out if you go too quick with it. But I do kind of like the erratic action a little bit. That's not just an excuse. I mean, I feel like that's gives off kind of a natural presentation. Yeah, it's not too bad. Let's wrap it up. Well, actually, we got a lot to do. I still have to paint it.
I don't know what that was, but that hurt.
Okay, before you walk away, do one more wide angle.
Forged in the fire, a master of creation.